Hey there's Dr. Granfield with Live Well Spinal Care. So this is day 2 of our mobility challenge. So yesterday we went over neck stretches, and today we're going to go over working down a little bit lower. We're going to work on the upper back and the shoulders. So a lot of the muscles that run from your upper back run all the way up into the neck. So if you're wanting to release and get better mobility in your neck, or have some relief from maybe headaches or tension in the neck, don't forget about working your upper back and your shoulders. So let's just talk about it. So the first thing that I think about is the posture that a lot of us have most of the day. So we're at our computer and we got rounded shoulders, or we're at we're driving in our car and our shoulders are rounded, or we're just slouching because we're tired. So a lot of this is pulling tension in the upper back, and it's shortening these muscles here in the front and your pec muscles and your chest. And when you're doing that, it's pulling tension all the way up the neck. So you can have pain or tension in your upper back that is affecting your neck, and you might not even feel pain and tension in your upper back. So it's really good to just hit all of the areas of the body with some myofascial release and some just routine stretches, whether you have pain or not, because the goal ultimately for health care is to take care of your health before there is a problem. So we're being proactive and preventative eventually. So I know a lot of us get really busy and it's hard to get ahead of things and prevent them from happening, and nothing motivates us like pain does. So whether you have pain or you don't, I recommend doing this. So I use a couple of different tools for my upper back. One of them is a tennis ball. So I've just stuck a tennis ball inside of a long sock, and the other is the foam roller. So we'll start with the tennis ball and the sock. Put it somewhere where you know you're going to use it, whether it's in your desk drawer or hanging right next to your desk, or it's in the car door of my car, because sometimes I have long drives, or even if I don't have a long drive, I have a 10-minute drive. I'm going to put that right there behind my back and lean up against my car seat with it. You can do this up against a wall, or you can do this up against your desk chair. So if you're doing it, wherever you're doing it, really, honestly, you want to make sure that you're not pushing too much pressure up against that ball. So the long sock allows you to target whether the lower back, mid back, upper back, wherever you want to target. And I typically like to target right inside my shoulder blade, because it's often where a lot of knots are for me anyways. So I'm just leaning my body weight back into it, or if I was in the car, I would just lean back into the car seat. If you find a spot that is tender, it's most likely tight and needing to be released, and it's also most likely probably causing you shoulder pain and neck tension, or it will in the future if you don't take care of it. So I've got a good spot. It's kind of hurting a little bit, but when it comes to the pain or the sensitivity of any area when you're doing myofascial release, the scale is 0 to 10. So 10 is the most pain you've ever felt in your life, and 0 is no pain at all. You want it to be no more than a 5 out of 10, 5 or less. If you stress the muscle more, even if it's like, oh, it hurts so good, if you stress that muscle out too much in the moment, it will hurt later, or it may be sore later, or it might spasm even more and cause more of a problem. So what I'm doing now is, instead of just holding it with pressure on one spot, now I'm just kind of moving, and I can feel it popping over my tight muscle or my knot. I can feel it. So I'm just trying to be really light and spending, at least a couple minutes in any area before you move on to another area. So 1 to 2 minutes is good. Then make sure you always do it on the other side, regardless of whether, hey, your pain's on the left side, make sure you do it on the right side to balance out the nervous system stimulation. And you actually might be surprised that there are going to be knots on the other side, or places that you didn't even realize were tight or sore. So move however you need to move in order to get any area that you're feeling needs it. So only you will know. So that is really great with the tennis ball and the sock. So I'm just going to pretend, or I'm going to use my tennis ball and the sock or you can use just a tennis ball. But now I'm gonna work the side of my shoulder, my deltoid, so this muscle right here. Since I'm working the upper back, it's related to my rotator cuff and my shoulder. So all of this is your upper extremity right here. So we just might as well work it out. So you can just put pressure against the wall and lean into it, and like I can move my arm through a range of motion, and it's not really sore. So I'm just gonna move it around for like 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna move on. So then the next thing I wanna do is hit the front of the shoulder. So remember I said that when you're rounded and it's short and it's really tight, we need to release this. So a lot of times we're having our massage therapist work on our upper back because that's where the pain is, but it never really resolves it because we haven't released this. So stretching the pec muscle or the chest and also using some sort of ball to release it is excellent. So I'll again just lean up against the door jamb, or I'll lean up against the wall, and I'm gonna just find a spot. And I might move my arm through a big range of motion because your pec muscle is a fan of fibers like this. So if you're moving that arm through a big range of motion, then you're able to kind of do a little bit of cross fiber action across a lot of those different fibers. Fibers. Say that 10 more times. So let's see, we've got the back, the side, the front. We're doing pretty good. And so we're gonna move down to the floor and work with a foam roller. So if I've just got like a few quick seconds and I don't feel like doing much, if I could just at least come down and do this, I feel phenomenal. So I'm gonna move us down here to the floor. Okay. It's nice and sunny here today in Wichita, Kansas. All right, so whenever you use the foam roller, you're gonna start by sitting on it, and you're gonna roll down. And what I'm gonna do is just kind of lift my hips up. Let me see if I can angle this camera just a little bit better. Bring it down just a little bit. All right, let's do that again. Yes, I think I can get it. All right. So when you roll it up your back, you might get some releases in your upper back, like little pops, and that's okay. But I'm gonna kind of just move around. And that way I'm gonna get it on the upper shoulder, and move around on the other side. Just work it like a bear against a tree. And then when you lift your hips up, so I just wanna show this. When I'm lifting my hips up, I'm able to get more pressure on my upper back. But if it's really sensitive, you can keep your hips lower. All right. And that is it today. We worked pretty good. I did some at the gym, so I'm gonna post some pictures of a ball that's like a little bigger in size that I was able to like lay on the floor and work my pec that way too, so you can get some more inspiration. So please post your comments on what you thought about today's video, or if you have any questions, or if you have areas that you want me to show you how to work tomorrow or the next day. But again, this is Dr. Tracy. I'm at Live Well Spinal Care, and this is our 21-day mobility challenge. So if you didn't start on yesterday, no problem. Just start today or just start tomorrow and post on my videos every day. Have a great day.